Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company Danny Weems Show, presented by Starne's Barber Shop, where we cover everything on the diamond with the North Green Lady Husky softball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Danny Weems. Coach, how are we doing today?
Good to see you again.
It's good to see you, but the weather outside, not good to see.
No, it's raining today. It's been raining all morning. We're supposed to go to Cloudland, and that's not going to happen today. We'll have to push it off later in the season.
Seems like we've had a lot of those. It always happens during spring, but I think we're snake bitten. Every time we sit down for an interview, I feel like it rains outside.
May be the case. It's tough in the spring. And,
it is.
We got Unaka right now that we have to make up. It's not yet scheduled. Then we have Cloudland that we do have them scheduled, actually, I believe, Thursday, the first week in May. I think the date is the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully that game will mean something come early May.
And speaking of Cloudland too, let's jump right into it. We previewed a game against them last week that you ended up playing last week. Ended up receiving a 3-1 loss against them to start your conference play. Take us through that game. Take us through some of the adjustments that you wanted to make going into the UH game that we'll talk about right after that. But talk about that Cloudland game and the loss that you received.
All right, Cloudland came down and they brought a good team. We knew they would. They have a good young pitcher, freshman. Turbyfield, girl Reagan Turbyfield's her name. Has a sister, plays on the team as well. Anyway, Cloudland had a good team, and it's a really close game. It's a good high school softball game. I think it was 1-1 through maybe the middle innings. Then they scored a couple of additional runs. Beat us 3-1. We had Hannah Brooks pitch that game for us. Pitched really well. Had 7 strikeouts. And they may have got 4 or 5 hits. Cloudland may have. So we made a few miscues and helped them out. I think Hannah gave up 1 earned run, and I believe the run that we scored was earned. So it was kind of a pitcher's duel there with the freshmen. They played a cleaner game than we did and ended up with the win. So it was encouraging for me, and I communicated with the team that, hey, we've shown here today that we can communicate with the top of the league here in District 1A. So that was exciting to see, and hopefully we'll have some more games with Cloudland that are, equally as competitive, and hopefully we can sneak out the win in the future.
You never want to start league play with a loss, but the best thing to do, reset, move forward, and go get a win in your next matchup. That's exactly what you did when you played University High. Came out with a big 15-1 victory in that one. Talk about what was clicking right in that game and how you were able to adjust from the Cloudland game and move into that one.
I guess the planets aligned. We had the sun and the moon, and I don't guess those are planets. But anyway, the solar system aligned for us yesterday just perfectly, and we hit the ball pretty well. It was the solar eclipse day, and we dismissed school early and came back in later in the day, 5 p.m., and we played well. We did. We hit the ball really well, especially the middle of our lineup. The girls we expect to hit it well. They did. 3 and 4 hit games for each of those girls. So we played well. The field got a little bit soppy later in the day because we had some rain yesterday, but we were able to push through and get the game in. Certainly glad we did that, and glad that we played so well. Used both pitchers yesterday, and they both pitched good. Maddie Phillips started the game, pitched a few innings for us. Then Hannah Brooks came in and finished the game. So overall, it's a good day.
Speaking of that eclipse, I wish the clouds weren't out.
I know.
It would have been nice to be able to see the eclipse here, but it just didn't happen that way.
It didn't happen that way. My daughter lives up in Ohio now, my oldest daughter, Abby, and they were in the path of total eclipse, and we saw some good pictures last night from the total eclipse, but we certainly didn't get to sit in person here yesterday. So,
in a game where you score 15 runs too, obviously you were great at the plate. Talk about some of those performances at the plate and who you were pleased with the most in your lineup.
Yeah, I was pleased, like I said, with the middle of the lineup especially. When I say that, Maddie Phillips bats second, Hannah Brooks bats third, Haley Bailey bats fourth, Lauren Blevins bats fifth. Those girls were really, really productive yesterday. We count on them a lot to get on base and score runs, and that's what they did. Hit the ball hard too, not just dinking the ball around. We made solid contact and was putting the ball in play with really good hits, solid hits. And University High helped us out a little. They committed a few errors there, and it's hard when you defensively, when you commit errors or a few errors, that it gives the other team extra outs, and when that happened yesterday, we were able to take advantage of it. I think University High is an improved team. Got a young coach there who's really, I think, engaged and involved and wanting to do good things there with their program, and I think he will. It just takes time. You know, he's got young girls that he's working with, and he's going to work hard at it. I'm pretty sure, just what I saw yesterday. So I think good things are in store for University High.
We finally get some conference games under your belt. 1-1 at the moment. Moving forward now, we don't have any to preview on the back half, but you'll have a few later in the year. As we mentioned, that game against Cloudland in early May, the UNACA game, we'll see rescheduled sometime down the road because it will have to be rescheduled. Then University High later on too. But you've got West Green coming up next week. We'll talk about that in just a minute, though. We need to get a break and a word from our sponsors. So we'll be right back after this break here on Grassroots Media.
Pizza, pancakes, or donuts, the Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
My name is Robert Starnes. I'm a lifelong resident of Northern Greene County, where I currently reside here with my wife and 3 children. I was in Barber in Greenville for the last 6 years, but I have recently changed locations to my new shop in Baileyton. It's at 285 Mortis Hollow Lane, Afton. I'm also a proud supporter of North Greene Athletics. Come see me for all of your men and boys grooming needs. Go Huskies!
Baileyton Drug Company services the surrounding communities of Baileyton with excellent patient care using a full-line pharmacy, over-the-counter selections, and a convenient drive-thru. When you visit us, you are treated as a neighbor, not a number. It's not just our slogan, but our culture. We're investing in our patients, local schools, and community. For over 5 years now, we have established ourselves as an independently family-run pharmacy that isn't driven by corporate goals. We are driven by what is best for your overall health and wellness. We're conveniently located so you don't have to make the drive. Prescription drugs are just the tip of the iceberg. We also offer natural remedies, essential oils, at-home medical needs such as walkers, rollators, bath accessories, as well as wound care products. And coming soon, basic urgent care services. What makes us better than other drugstores out there? When you frequent Baileyton Drug, you will receive professional, courteous, and friendly service that goes above and beyond any other pharmacy in the area. Remember, you're a neighbor, not a number.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company Danny Weems Show, presented by Starne's Barbershop, where we cover everything on the diamond with the North Greene Lady Husky softball team. As always, I'm joined here with Lady Huskies head coach Danny Weems. So you've actually got West Greene this week, not next week, as I stumbled upon on the last half, but you do have them on Friday night here at home. As I understand what you told me, it's a very special night too. You'll have senior night, honoring 2 very special seniors on that night too, against a county rival in West Greene. Always a great night whenever you get to honor your seniors who have put in the hard work over the years. Talk about what you expect going into that special night and what you expect out of the Lady Buffaloes.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen West Greene. I know recently they had an exciting game there with Chucky Doak and were able to get a key conference win there. So I know the young lady, the brown girl, is pitching, and I'm sure she does a good job because she's a great athlete, and I know she's a competitor. So we certainly expect West Greene to come in here and ready to play and, riding a little momentum, certainly looking for another county win. Mm-hmm. So hopefully on our senior night, we can play well, and I think we'll have to in order to beat West Greene. So hopefully we can. That was a reschedule from an earlier game. It is our next to last home game at the time in which we scheduled senior night. That was the case. We don't like to wait till the very last home game because you never know if you're going to have a rain out or not. So
Smart.
It's a little bit early in the season to be having a senior day, but anyway, we just choose to recognize our seniors anyway. So we're going to get to do that hopefully this Friday, depending on the weather, and hopefully we'll have a good game. Talking about those seniors just a little, we have Heidi Harmon, who's this year she's our leadoff hitter and playing center field for us. She's a senior, 4-year player, does a good job for us. Heidi has a lot of speed, just comes to play every day. She does little things that can help our team, whether it's bunting, walking, base hitting, whatever it is, steals bases, takes extra bases. She's playing a solid center field for us so far. So defensively, she kind of anchors the outfield. She has young players beside of her out there, so she's kind of been a mentor to those players also in practice. I see her, taking some initiative and kind of trying to get those younger girls up to speed defensively on how to become a good outfielder. So she is doing that, playing that role for us. She's had a good career. I guess if you think about it, she's been to, if I'm not mistaken, been to the state tournament twice and a sectional once, I believe, in her 3 years. If I think that's right. And Haley Bailey, say the same thing for her. She's just a natural kind of athlete. You watch her play basketball, you know that. On a softball field, it's kind of strange. It just comes easy to her. She walks out of basketball season, walks right into softball season, sticks a bat in her hand, goes out there and just hits the ball. She's one of those types of athletes. So she's got a lot of skill, just athleticism. She is catching for us this year, which, in my opinion, that's the second most important position on the field. I think the pitcher is the most important position, then the catcher. So she's done a great job for us. We don't have a lot of depth there, so we're hoping, crossing our fingers and our toes and everything else, that Haley will not be injured. And we always tease her about that. Do everything you do, try to do it safely. But that's kind of not Haley's mindset. She's wide open, everything she does. So
can't falter for her, though.
You can't. And sometimes when you try to be careful is when things happen, you get injured. So she's wide open all the time, and hopefully we can go through the whole season with her playing that way and continuing to catch every game for us. That's what we're hoping. So big senior night for them. Just want to honor them, and they've meant a lot to our program through the years, and hopefully they're kind of setting the example this year, what we expect, and even as a team, what each teammate expects out of another teammate. And I think those two can provide that kind of leadership for us.
So it's always nice to have senior night whenever you can, because a lot of people expect senior night to be the last home game looking at football and basketball. But with spring sports, it never really has to be that case because, of course, you have postponements and cancellations and such. And with postseason berths, too, you can kind of extend that home streak later in the year. So even though they're playing their senior night on Friday night, it's not their last home game. Hopefully not their last, as you can have a deep run in the playoffs and host a few more. But on Saturday, you'll have a little JV action against Providence, as you told me also. Talk about how special that is to get the JV some reps.
Yeah, it is. Here's the issue. We have 11 players. So truthfully, our team is our team. Mm-hmm. And, I've communicated that to the coach up at Providence. We still want to play because I do have girls who don't get the reps in the varsity games that really they need for their development. So we're going to take this JV as an opportunity to get those girls into key positions and maybe even get them more at-bats than, say, a upperclassman would get. We're going to play basically everybody. I probably will not play Haley and Heidi that we just talked about, being seniors. We'll try to keep them out of that JV game, but my juniors will have to play, my sophomores will have to play, and my freshmen will have to play. And, but a lot of it is the same players that we play the varsity with. And we're always excited to do that. I love the JV team. And when we're able to have a separate JV team, because I think it's important for the development to get those girls in situations that they don't get in at the varsity level. And so I am excited about Saturday. It's 11 a.m. game Saturday. Providence will be coming here to play it. And we played them last year, so hopefully we have a good game on Saturday, good weather, and we're able to get that game in. They're just getting their softball program going there at Providence, and the coach there is working hard trying to make it happen, so hopefully we can see their program rise and be playing them in the varsity schedule in the future.
Seems like an exciting week here at North Green. You've got senior night on Friday night, and you've got a little JV action on Saturday to get those younger girls some reps. Hopefully the next time we come in, we get to talk about some wins, but I think that's all for this week. Unfortunately, raining outside once again this week, so we'll see that Cloudland game later on in the year. Maybe I need to start coming on days where you don't play. Because I think I might be jinxing you bringing bad weather on.
That may be good. Come on Wednesdays. We typically don't schedule games on Wednesdays.
That's
so
smart. That is true.
There we go.
But, Coach, that's all I got for you this week. Once
All right.
again, appreciate
Thanks,
you
Tyler.
sitting down with me. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company Danny Weems Show presented by Starne's Barbershop. Look forward to seeing you next week here on Grassroots Media.